everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're back with another video. We got worst job you've ever had, keep it 100 cut. Yeah, yeah, there have been a lot of bad jobs, man. But I'm gonna get a little story times, maybe like worst manager, worst job. I guess we'll just go with that one after the video. I'm ready to jump into this, but before you do, make sure you thumbs up and subscribe, and let's get it.
Did you quit or were you fired?
I wasn't fired. They were like, we are going to ask you to not come back for the school year.
That's actually what firing looks like.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
The worst job I ever. Oh God.
I've had a lot of not good.
Also, I'm not gonna put out those jobs that they were, but if anyone says that job, I'll say if I worked there or not.
Job.
Oh, I cleaned boats, selling windows door to door, lifeguarding. My first job graduating from college.
Hold on.
Boats, selling windows.
You still work there?
Door to door, lifeguarding. My first job graduating from college was a pyramid scheme.
Oh, I used to sell timeshares. Why?
Working at a bar called Crackheads. I was canvassing for
Yuck.
Planned Parenthood. I got water thrown in my face. I got spit on. Oh, I worked a basketball camp and I had to clean up after teenage boys.
I was a lingerie barista when I was 19 years old on Highway 395. I did not like being objectified in the name of getting coffee.
Never mind, I'll shut up.
What's the worst job you've had?
Oh, I worked at a casino. Working at a dry cleaners. The fumes were so bad that they had to shut it down a couple years later, which is crazy because like I did have a headache every single time I worked there. I worked at a horse barn.
Did you have to shovel shit?
Literally. You have to like clean up shit.
All the staff made me clean up the throw up. They were like, ew, it's really gross, it's fashion, you can go clean it up. And I was like, cool, yep.
Why did they make
That's
you clean it up?
Because they were all managers.
The management was very
Hey, you got me dead.
Management wasn't fantastic. I had a very crazy boss.
Boss.
Hold on, I kind of like her. Hold on.
I had a very crazy boss.
Boss was just, he was just awful.
My boss was a bitch.
She would like make me clock out at like 10 p.m. but then I had to keep working without getting paid.
She would come in.
What?
and
Bro,
she'd
you
tell
got
me
me
it was a week of
bent.
Makeup. I just like after one shift I was like, I'm fucking done. And I just,
Now,
like,
granted, I might work and not get paid, but like those are times. That was like my first job. Like I'll go in and like on my off day, and then like make some food. Like I'll like work for like 5 minutes, and then make some food. I'm like, oh, well, this makes up for the the work, and I get to eat.
emailed her daughter. I was like, your mom sucks, and I quit.
Maybe working for my dad.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he'd be yelling at them. He's like, why aren't you there yet? And I was like, like it's never a side of my dad that I've seen.
The owner watched us on cameras all day to like make sure that we were like working.
The owners made very disparaging comments about my kind, my family.
My manager, he used to comment on my hair a lot,
What would you say?
that I would need to tame it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Guys had like
Where did you work,
office
though?
job where my boss was really mean to me.
If you in like food service, you gotta do that.
I had to get legal help to get out of that employment situation.
Wow.
Yeah, it worked out just fine.
She got paid.
Worst job you've ever had.
I would say my first two jobs, because they were both in retail.
Retail job.
Retail,
I refuse.
working, graveyard. Absolutely no graveyards for me.
They wanted me to work 10 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Get off at 4 a.m. Then I'd go to class at 8 a.m.
Yeah, I didn't sleep at all.
They just threw you in the deep end and just like, were like, figure it out, but we're gonna yell at you if you don't get it right.
I worked for like a video game store. I just got screamed at.
I wish.
I worked at GameStop for 6 years.
What didn't you like about it?
Getting hit on by 13-year-old boys.
I was in customer service in Walmart and it was awful.
People can be really mean.
Some people can be really rude.
Everyone there was an asshole.
It was a lot of very entitled humans that
I
I was
like
working
her.
with.
I think I've just had been like past that point in my life of like standing all day.
I just realized that it was just not something I wanted to do.
Tons of lifting, it just was not
out of high school was not it.
Never had another labor job after that.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
I was a front desk at a beauty school, and it was horrible. I was sitting in a cubicle all summer. I could show up at 8 and leave at 5 and not talk to another person all day, and it was really depressing.
Didn't really get paid, I just got like housing.
It didn't have end times for the shifts, so I just stayed there until they said I could leave.
How was
I ain't gonna out him. I ain't gonna out him.
I was a minor, so I didn't really know about the laws.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Thank you, like, bro, stop
quit.
saying my lines.
Oh yeah, I quit.
Well, she tried to fire me, and then by the end I quit. I was like, I'm out of here. Did you quit respectfully or kind of?
Oh, I quit joyfully. I just told him, deuces.
Have fun replacing me.
Just don't expect me back.
I had just had enough.
I think I just stopped showing up. That's not great. I wouldn't do it again. I never did it again.
I've always been pretty good about putting 2-week notices in.
I wanted to leave before the 2 weeks, but I stayed professional and I finished through.
Did you quit or were you fired?
Technically, I got fired.
I wanted to quit and they fired me.
I got fired because I went on a mission trip with my church.
That person's going to hell.
Oh yeah.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
It's when I worked fast food at Bojangles.
Domino's,
Hell
In
no.
and Out, drive-through, Red Lobster.
Restaurant?
Like the first restaurant job that I worked was like a reality check.
And they had all the front of house like white people, and they had back of house all people of color.
I was a waitress. I just really didn't like the people that I had to.
That's kind of how it be like in
People
every
be
place I
really
work
particular
at, bro.
about their food items and would like yell at workers.
I worked at Jimmy John's for
Bro, and I literally made that comment. I literally made that comment today, because the first 2 people who came in, because when I'm recording this, it's New Year's Day. It was 2 officers, right? And then and I saw 4 more came in, so I was just joking. I was like, "Oh, I gotta go." And then later, I was just like, "Now why they got the black folks cooking for them?" All right, let me chill.
One day, my first shift, they like scheduled me from like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. and I had to deliver it to some guy in an alley. And I quit
What?
the next day.
I was about to say that's nothing, but
Cutting onions for like 8 hours. My boss would give me a lot of shit because I would, sob because onions. I worked at Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese.
I worked at Chuck E. Cheese.
We've got a lot of Chuck E. Cheese answers here today.
that's crazy.
Like, you gotta clean piss out of a fucking slide.
You have to put on the rat costume.
Yes,
Hell
I've been
no.
in the mouse costume. It's really smelly.
So is it true that Chuck E. Cheese grabs leftover pizza slices and builds a pizza?
I have witnessed that. That is not a conspiracy. I have seen pizza be dropped on the floor, picked up, and put right back on. Shit.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
Probably babysitting 7 kids at once. Babysitting rich kids, daycare provider. It really was rewarding at times, but oh my god, being an elementary school teacher was terrible.
The kids were just, we don't like to use the B word like bad, but they were.
Listen,
They were terrible.
it like I don't ever want to be like in any type of role that's like taking care of kids, like babysitting, daycare, or whatever the hell, like teacher or whatever, because like it'll be like a good experience for the good kids, but that's very minuscule. Kids be bad as shit, bro.
What's the worst job?
Especially newer generation.
I've never had a bad job.
And I love the job I have now.
I've actually liked all my jobs.
I actually haven't had many bad jobs.
I've actually only had one job.
And you love it?
Yeah, I do like it. I think it's really fun, yeah.
Okay.
I don't really have a job that I hate.
Hold on. I'm noticing something.
Have taught me a lot, so I would say none of them are worse.
Do you believe in having a dream job?
Yes.
What's your dream?
Like, hold on, bruh.
They were terrible.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
I actually have never had a bad job.
And I love the job.
Now look. It's not in me. It's not in me to get up here and lie to y'all, but besides the first one, all of them that said I never really had a bad job, they got like a different like presence to them. Like before, I'll kind of be like, oh, I like her. I'm just joking and shit like that. But hold on, like, this one little vibe, she cool.
I have now. I've actually liked all my jobs.
Yeah, she's straight.
I haven't had
She gorgeous. I like her.
bad jobs.
I've actually only had one job.
And you
You
love
know what I'm
it?
saying? I like her
I think
too.
it's really fun, yeah.
Okay.
I don't really
Shout
have
out
a
my
job
black
that I
queens.
Hated the most.
All of my jobs have taught me
I love my, you know what I'm saying? I love my Asian persuasions.
Having a dream job.
Yes.
What's your dream job?
I want to be a professional actor.
I want to be working with people. I guess probably like the job I'm having now. It's like I'm nannying right now for different families.
I think there is dream jobs, but people don't understand that even when you get to your dream job, like, yes, it's still gonna be work.
Because if you make it become your whole life, then
like her.
it can start to feel like a chore.
I think I will get my dream job.
Which is what?
Possibly owning my own business down the road.
Big wig at the company
Business
that
doing
I'm
what?
with.
Just the business
I'm
in general?
running shit. I'm a manager or CEO or some top of the organization.
It's not cut out.
I don't know. I want to be boss.
No pun intended. Hold on, I gotta see her one more time before I end this. I like her. You know what I'm saying? She could too. Alright, let me chill. But worst job. Look. I ain't gonna say what it was. All I know is I worked 2 shifts there. No bueno. Basically, they do. I'm not really gonna say certain names because they might be specific to that certain company. But basically, they do inventory for, you know, a whole bunch of stores. I did a clothing store. They said that was light work. That's some bullshit. And then there's this big retail store. They said those are the worst days. Before I even get scheduled to that day, I get scheduled. Like, there was like, what days do you want? And a bit fucked up my shit. And I was a dumbass. I still showed up. But like, it was literally like I got home, went to sleep for like 3 hours, and then went and worked some more. Like, it was like literally like back to back. We get to a smaller not retail, like market, like a Walmart, Publix, Target, like stuff like that. So we get to a smaller market. Bro, when I tell you we pulled up at 6, and it's literally a whole bunch of different what do they call it? Different, let's just say units, sectors, I forgot what the districts, a whole bunch of different districts. And meanwhile, it's like probably like 20 minutes from this person, 30 minutes from this district, 45 minutes for this district. Bro, when they did the little orientation, they said we gonna leave in a bus. I'm thinking like a school bus. No, there was like blah blah blah. I forgot how they described it. Company vehicle. I think they just said company vehicle, and it kind of showed like a little bus. It kind of looked like a short bus, but like with the company logo. Obviously, it wasn't like a school bus. Bro, when I tell you, I pulled up and they opened the door and it was a minivan. Meanwhile, the person sitting in front of, I was trying to get in the back, but someone was already in that bit fast as shit. That I guess they the Flash. So now the guy in front of me is, bro, when I tell you this is one of the biggest dudes I've ever seen. Bro was like Wario ate another Wario, like. So I'm sitting there like this, uncomfortable as shit for an hour drive, because we pulled up at the office to drive for, you know what I'm saying, an hour. So that's already 2.5 hours type shit before we even get to the location. And then they say you can't leave this lot to go get for your lunch break. So I'm at the dollar store eating dollar store like chips and shit like that. Like, I can't cook it. Like, I can't leave. I'm stuck at this location. I can't even be like, okay, I'm gonna just head out. So imagine this. Imagine you're in a clothing store, you find a shirt you like, and there's no tags. That's a very common thing. Whenever there's not a tag, you have to call someone from who works at the store to manually put it in instead of like just scanning it. Like, you have to scan it, count it, then like write the number down and do this, that, and the third on a certain section. At a certain point, I was like, you got me fucked up. I'm not calling the person from the store. It had 100 and something, like 110 items on one rack, and like 40 of them had tags. No, I'm not about to do that. So then I was off on one of them. He was like, hey, do that again, we're gonna send you home. Bro, we put up in a company vehicle. I can't fucking go home. So my only solution is for us to work faster to get the leave. Of course, we get the clothing is the worst. Of course, they get the dry goods. You know what I'm saying? They're only 20 minutes away. They get the dry goods. You know what I'm saying? Bro, we were the last district to leave. I don't even remember what time we left. All I know is when I got home, like, I had the bigger market store. Like, the next day, I slept for 17 hours straight. That was like the longest I ever slept, bro. And I only woke up because my mom knocked on my door and was like, are you okay? Worst manager, not the job that I'm at now. And then the job that I'm at now, I worked 2 jobs before. I'm not working 2 jobs now. But before those 2 was a job I was working at. And it was actually, so far, I'll say that's been my favorite job overall. But the manager was on some bull. So I'm gonna try to go quick into this one. So the GM, like, I don't really know their tasks, but the person, there's a GM, and then there's a certain thing. If I say what it's called, it might give it away. And then there's, you know, your typical managers after that, and then you got your like kitchen managers. So the person who was under the GM, like, let's just say second in charge, the second in charge person, when I started, because meanwhile, like, those I was talking about, oh, you know, bad kids or whatever. I don't really like messing with people when it comes to working. Like, I like to just do my stuff and, like, be left alone. It was like, oh, everyone got to start in the front. I'm trying to cook, bro. Why am I up in the front? I'm trying to cook. That's not what I'm here to do. So then, you know, when I first started, there's the GM. She was, you know, she would let me, you know, work in the kitchen a little bit. Then she said to the person second in charge, they make the schedule. So she knows, giving hints like, oh, Austin was, you know, covering this person on break. And he was just kind of like, oh, yeah, all right, whatever. So I'm like, at this point, I'm about to start job searching. He pulled me to the office like, oh, we you know, heard rumors that you're, you know, looking at other jobs and stuff like that. I'm like, bruh, I work in kitchens. I've been here for like however many months. And there's no progress for me to be moved. Anyways, when I first started at GM, she got promoted. So then he became GM, and one of the other managers started making a schedule. I shit you not. When he started making a schedule, first week I was in the kitchen. So he, like, the manager I had an issue with wanted to say, oh, just give me time. Meanwhile, you're hiring people. I'm thinking they're about to be my replacement, but you have them cooking. I'm thinking they're about to replace me in the front. No, they start cooking. So how is this giving you time? Someone else makes a schedule. First week, I'm in the kitchen. Then there'll be times when, like, he'll, like, say certain things to me. And when it comes to being strict, I have no problem. Like, my first manager, probably one of the most strict managers, you know, I've worked with. But, you know, that's how he was to everyone. So if you were just strict to everyone, that's just how you are. But I'll just be noticing, be getting on me for the littlest shit. Meanwhile, I'm like, yo, they're leaving me like this. Like, the opener does this, and literally there's a time when you're supposed to have a certain amount of pans, right? Let's just say 4 pans of, like, of 3 of 3 main products. I'm trying not to give any away. 3 main products. When I came in, bruh, there was 4 of one of them, and then 1 of another, and none of anything else. And that was just the 3 main things. You're supposed to have like secondary things, you know, to have a good flow to the next shift. I'm like, bruh, I'm busting my ass as soon as I walk in the door, cause this is how y'all leaving me. Meanwhile, I'll leave all that. Like I'll do more than is required. Oh, but you didn't do this, bro. What this minuscule shit, bro? Come on, bro, get out my face. And matter of fact, I don't know if I got that video still up. I did actually, if it's not up, it's unlisted. I did a whole story time, so if you really want to, you know, continue this one, you know, check the description for the video. Hopefully I remember. If not, say, hey dumbass, you didn't put the link. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Only I can turn a 7-minute video into, no, that's a fucking lie. I saw someone turn a 2-minute video into like a 17-minute video. I'm like, golly, bro. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Any video requests, put them in the comments, man. But if you like the video, make sure you drop like, subscribe, share with your friends. Stay tuned for the next one. It's been a reaction by the world's coolest nerd, and I'm out. Peace.